a great meal and a great topic, I'm Chef Graham. And with me today is...
I'm Chef Leah.
I'm Chef Lexi.
I'm Chef Gabby. I'm Chef Tristan.
I'm Chef Chris.
And our special guest chef is Chef Zeke.
Hi, I'm Chef Zeke, and today we're going to be preparing spinach turkey burgers and also roasted sweet potato fries, and we're going to be discussing gun safety with kids. Alright, we're going to get started on our sweet potato fries here. Who here likes sweet potatoes? Everybody? Okay. So we've already got our sweet potato fries cut. You want to hold the oven mitt? Okay. Alright, so we're going to take these and we're going to baste the fries a little bit in some oil. Lexi?
What is basting?
Cover them. She asked what baste meant, and it's to cover them. That's good. Okay. Now take your hand and put it in there and mix them around.
Wait.
Yep. Now we're going to put these on our cooking sheet here. Alright, so on the topic of what we're speaking about today, who has experience with guns or firearms at all? Raise your hand. Okay, who's ever shot a gun? Raise your hand. Who's scared of guns? Raise your hand. Only four. Everybody should be scared of guns. So you have to have a healthy fear because they can be dangerous. Just like that stove over there, it's not dangerous, but if you take and you put your hand on it, it will burn you and hurt you. So you have to think the same way with firearms. You have to make sure that you respect them and you don't touch them unless you know what you're doing. And since y'all are all little kids, y'all don't know what y'all are doing yet. So you just don't touch them is how you take that, okay? All right, now we're going to take some of our spices. Does anybody have any questions on that? In just a minute. We'll put some of our spices on here, and then we'll put some of this on the top. Does anybody know what that is? Can you smell it and tell me? No?
I can't smell it from here.
Where's the pepper?
Something spicy. Seasoning. Some kind of like jalapeno. That doesn't smell good. What is
Alright, now who wants to take and put the sweet potatoes in the oven for us? Alright, Tristan, you open the oven.
This one?
Both of them. Open that one. There you go. Alright, now who wants to take them and put them in there for us? Alright, so to be safe, we have to put this on. There we go. We're going to put them in the oven and let them bake while we get started on our turkey burgers. Alright, we're good to go on the sweet potato fries. And we'll be back in just a minute to finish our turkey burgers. Alright guys, so we got our turkey burgers all made up, the seasoning and everything put in, and our spinach, so we're going to make some patties and let the kids cook their patties for us. And we're going to do 2 patties in each pan. You ready for your patty, Leah?
Yeah.
There you go.
Where is it?
Put it in the pan there. Make sure y'all, when y'all put the patty down, don't throw it down. Just put it down nice and easy. Here you go, Lexi. So that the hot oil doesn't...
This one?
This one. Yeah. Just like we were talking about earlier, you have to make sure that you're very careful in the kitchen because things can hurt you in the kitchen, just like with the firearms like we were discussing earlier. I'm going to put one in my pan for you, for me also.
I
What you got, bud?
How old were you when the first time you
gun safety?
I got my first gun when I turned 5 years old, and my granddad and my uncle and my dad taught me all of what I know about gun safety until I got a little bit older. Come on over, bud. Until I got a little bit older and started taking classes and things. So, all right, now if y'all pick your spatula up, then you just scoop up under the burger a little bit and flip it over. Yeah, just flip it over. Y'all doing all right, ladies? We put some olive oil in these pans to make sure that the burgers didn't stick. Y'all know why we use gloves when we're dealing with raw meat?
Yes, because it can get you very sick.
Exactly. So safety applies to everything in life, even in the kitchen cooking, raw meat, firearms. So you gotta make sure that you're always safe in everything that you do. And if you don't know what to do, what do you do?
Ask for help.
From who?
An adult. An adult.
An adult that knows what they're doing,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Now we're back and this food smells so good. Who's ready to dig in? Me.
Everybody. All right. All right. Now we're going to talk about guns and kids and safety. So we talked about earlier who has experience with guns. So once again, can you raise your hand if you have experience with guns? Okay. Now my three here, what's the number one rule when it comes to guns?
You're not allowed to touch them.
Say it one more time.
You're not allowed to touch them unless you're supervised by an adult.
Okay, good job. So the main rule is you do not touch a firearm. So if your friends are around and they do, you immediately leave where they're at and go find an adult and tell that adult. You don't try to take the gun from them. You don't try to do anything but leave where they're at and go tell an adult. Do y'all understand why that is?
You could get hurt.
Exactly. If you try to take it from your friend, one of y'all could get hurt. And even though guns are very neat and cool and I grew up with them, you still have to respect them and make sure that you treat them with respect because they can't hurt you or your friend. So we're going to start with some questions. And what's your question, Tristan?
Should kids have their own firearm?
Well, I got my first gun when I was 5, and it stayed in my dad's closet, and it only under his supervision did I get to shoot it. And I started hunting with my grandfather, which is a big tradition, and they always taught me all the gun safety rules. So you always point it towards the ground, your finger's never on the trigger. But today we're talking about gun safety, which means that I never touched that gun because my dad and mom and grandfather and uncle and my whole family taught me you do not touch guns. So do you have any questions, bud?
Have you ever been to a school where there was a shooting?
No, I have not been to a school. My mom's a teacher, and she also, you know, she doesn't carry a gun at school, obviously, because you can't legally do that. But she teaches her kids also, you know, make sure that you never touch firearms, never touch guns, and you stay away from them. And if you ever find one, you leave it there, and you go tell an adult, and an adult can help you with it. So, what's your question?
Do you think kids should learn how to shoot a gun?
I think that a lot of parents want to keep their kids away from guns but not teach them about them. But I could leave this here and I know that these three would never touch it because I taught them that. But if they had not been taught that, then I'm afraid that their curiosity, just like adults have curiosity, so do kids, they would want to pick that gun up and touch it and, you know, see what it is and play with it, and you could end up getting hurt. So I think it's better to teach your kids not to touch firearms and to stay away from them and to be safe than just act like they don't exist. Because in almost every house that you walk in, there is a gun, whether it's in plain view or if it's in the back of a closet. You have to know what to do if you ever do come across it. So does that kind of answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about you, Lexi?
When is the right time to touch a gun?
For a kid, never. For an adult, only if you're in, fear of your life, or if you're moving it from one place to another. But, kids should never ever touch guns. They should never.
What if someone's trying to come in there and hurt you?
Then you run and you hide, and then your parent comes in there and they take care of you. But
They're not there.
then you run and you hide, because kids you don't know how to use the gun, and so therefore you should never actually pick it up and try to, because just like you can hurt somebody with these, you can also hurt yourself, or if they take it from you, they can hurt you. So as far as going over to your friend's house, if you find one in a drawer, if they say, my dad has this really cool gun, what do?
You stay away from it and don't touch
What
it.
Lexi said, you leave. You walk outside, you get your phone, you get their phone, you tell an adult immediately and stay away from that gun. So, do you have a question?
Do you think that people should make guns that just look like real guns to get to touching?
It's like this gun here. This is not a real firearm, but we treat it as if it is, so you don't point it at anybody. It's in a holster, which means that if it's in a holster, it covers the trigger, so that the trigger cannot be accessed, so that it cannot fire while it's in the holster. But this gun looks real, but it's a training aid. So they make it blue, y'all understand? So blue or red is what color your training aid. This is what military, law enforcement uses to train people. Also, some martial arts studios and things use it if you're trying to teach somebody how to take a gun away. But this gun, it looks real. It looks exactly, y'all see the dimensions on it, how it's the same exact gun. This is a Springfield XD subcompact 40 caliber gun, okay? But they make it blue so that it doesn't look real. When y'all get y'all's toy guns and they have the orange tips on it, you never take that off, because you never want somebody to mistake it for a real gun, okay? Do y'all understand that? Because if somebody saw you pointing a gun at somebody that didn't have the orange tip on it, they might think you have a real gun and you're really pointing it at somebody. So you have to make sure that you also have to take responsibility and not be reckless with a firearm or something that looks like it. Is it funny to shoot somebody with a BB gun?
No.
No. How about the airsoft guns?
Yes.
Only if you're playing airsoft do you shoot somebody with an airsoft gun. When you have glasses on and things like paintball was cool when I was a kid. It's not quite as cool now. Everybody plays airsoft. But you have to always make sure that you're safe, whether it's a toy gun or a pellet gun. And then what are you supposed to do with a real gun?
Don't touch it.
Okay, and if somebody else tries to touch it,
Walk away.
run away if you have to, okay? All right, you asked one question. Do you have another question?
Do they make those fake guns blue and red because to let people know that they're fake, or is there other real guns that are blue too?
That's another thing. That's a good point that I didn't even think of. They make guns that are pink and purple and yellow and green and all kinds of colors now. So even if you think that this gun is fake, it might not be. Okay, so there's a couple companies out there right now that they make guns in this same exact color. And so you don't just assume that the gun is fake, you just don't touch it. If you don't know anything about it, you don't touch it. If you think it's a toy gun but you're not sure, you don't touch it. That's the biggest thing. And you go tell an adult, a responsible adult, that can make sure that you and your friends are safe. Because I never want anything to happen to any of y'all or any of your friends, okay? So they make these blue and red because that's what they did back in the 90s. And before they had a bunch of different colors of guns, and so they make these as training aids. So you'll see police officers that wear them on their hip, and they call them literally blue guns and red guns. So, but now you never know. They make pink guns, they make purple guns, they make green, they make all kinds of colors. So you just have to be very, very careful. And if you have any questions and you don't know if it's a real gun, then what do you do?
Run away.
Run away. So we have two things. If you find a gun or come across a gun, if this gun was sitting on the table right here, who's going to touch it?
No one.
If I wasn't sitting at this table, what would you do?
Run away.
Run to an adult and tell the adult. Okay? So everybody understand that? Everybody enjoying their food?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Can we get second? Is there?
You might be able to get seconds if there's some over there. All right, we just want to make sure that y'all understand gun safety and the fact that, you know, guns are dangerous, and I do believe that people should be taught about them so that they don't get hurt with them or hurt other people by accident with them. And they're a great thing, but they're not safe for kids by themselves, okay? Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Everybody give everybody a hand for doing so good.
Take a look at yourself. You wanna just break down. They say you're not a part of their crowd. Well, who are they to tell you what you're worth? Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell her that she's beautiful.